We never asked for a committee. The farmers have decided they're not going to participate in this.
Avik Saha, your response to the Supreme Court's actions today, please.
Farmers' organizations have sought no relief from the Supreme Court. And quite naturally, the Supreme Court has given no relief to the farmers. This was all about providing the correct optics for the government. We never asked for a committee. We are protesting against the farm laws for their repeal and for enactment of a law to guarantee MSP. It's the government which can repeal the laws and can enact a new law, not the Supreme Court. And hence, this whole business of committee, and I was reading the order just now. The Supreme Court has said that the farmers' organization shall participate in the deliberations. So it's the direction of the farmers' organization to go before the committee, air their grievances, and have asked that committee to give recommendations to the Supreme Court. That committee consists of 4 people, all of whom are pro-government, pro-law. So this is a game which is set, and the farmers have decided they are not going to participate in this. Supreme Court ought not to have waded into this controversy. This was the government's business, and the government has, for reasons best known to it, passed it on to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court should not have come into this, has come into this, and the days that come forward, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, uh, might be even bleaker than it is today.
You're saying that the farmers will not be a part of the court-appointed panel. What next now for as far as the
Yeah,
farmer agitation is concerned?
Shouldn't you ask the court this? We don't know.
I no.
We are
ask the Supreme
protesting.
Court, no?
It's the farmers which are out on the streets,
Oh,
sir.
yes,
It's the
we can.
farmers who are braving the cold and who are braving the virus because they are in this cold amidst the pandemic, and it's frightfully cold. I can tell you because I'm also sitting in Delhi, and it is crazy to be going out. It's bone melting out there. The farmers have been sitting there for days on end. How do you see a resolution to this? What next after you're saying that you will not go, despite the Supreme Court saying it in so many words, that the farmers should be a part of this, should come in front of this panel, whether they are protesting against the laws or not protesting against the laws. You're saying no, the farmers will not go there. Now, if the farmers will not go there, what is it that the farmers are thinking? I'm talking about the farmers' point of view. What is their game plan from here on onwards?
Right. Those who are protesting out in the cold Delhi streets, I speak on their behalf. I'm telling you what they are telling me.
Right.
It's not my decision I'm
Sure.
communicating. They've said these laws will be the end of us. And unless we get them repealed, we can't go back home because there's no home to go back to. That's the position, that's the determination. Whether that's you like it, you don't like it, you feel it's right, you feel it's wrong, it's your choice. These 4 people, Mr. Alag, today has been very, very sparse with facts. These 4 people in the
I
committee
don't know them.
are their records are there in the public domain. The positions were
Sir,
taken.
I don't know them.
No,
I
no,
don't know
I
them.
agree. I
No, no,
agree.
let him make his point. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, we don't have to wait for 60 days to find out what their position is. What they will recommend, they've already told you that, and that's in the public domain. Anybody can Google and read it. So this committee, if the Supreme Court was genuinely trying to do something and the farmers felt that, chalo, is bande ne kuch koshish to kiya hai, maybe we would have had a discussion. You set up a committee to listen to our grievances, and the people in the committee are completely against our interests, and they say so, and they are not hiding it. And you expect us to go to that committee. We shall have to go to that committee, and that committee will give a recommendation. This is called a slow burial. So basically, the Supreme Court has today ordered the farmers that you end your protest. That's the last paragraph, paragraph 15. You end your protest, go back. I have formed
Right.
this committee. Go to this committee. They will hear you. They will recommend, and then we'll see. I'm sorry, the Supreme Court has lesser credibility than that in India today. That's the fact. I'm not unhappy stating that fact.
Now, why aren't the farmers happy with what the Supreme Court has done?
Just a few factual corrections, actually. Uh, the demand of the farmers, and I wrote that letter to the Delhi Police Commissioner, was to come into Delhi and protest at the designated protest sites. That was denied. That's why they're at the doors of Delhi. So the audience must know the factual position is not that they wanted to block highways. So, Mr. Alag, if the government had reacted democratically, the highways would not have been blocked. It is the government which is blockading the highways. The second is, well, sir, the laws always die on repeal. Hundreds of laws are repealed. This government, a few months ago, has repealed more than 40
No.
labor laws. You know that, I know that. So repeal is not something unknown to parliamentary process. Every demand has been conceded. Sounds nice when it's spoken on television. There was only one demand which has, and that has not been conceded. That is that you must repeal these laws because, sir, unlike taxation laws, this law starts with the preface that I am enacting these laws for the welfare and benefit of farmers to augment their income. And the farmers whose income is supposed to be augmented say, we don't want our income to be augmented in this way. That's the problem. You are
Okay,
enacting for a group of people who don't want that enactment, and you are saying they don't have the right to protest about it. That is
how
very
is this trust deficit going to be bridged? Because this is clearly a
Yeah.
case of serious trust deficit between the government and the farmers.
so. There is a trust deficit that needs to be bridged, which essentially means that parties to that deficit must want to bridge it.
Yes.
If the
Right.
parties do not want to bridge it, then there can be no bridge. Every time that the farmers have been wanting to negotiate, the government has called them names, has slapped cases against them. This is the government acting against its own food producers. And people like me and Mr. Alag, we are not food producers, so we can come on your channel and we can give great speeches. That the fact is the backbone of the economy of the country, the hunger index of the country depends on these people. I have no trust on the Prime Minister because he repeatedly uses and abuses them. And why do we need the Prime Minister to explain the law? He's not very educated. We all know that. The law is written in black and white, printed in ink paper. We've all read it. The law basically premises that the government will not be responsible for ensuring prices, but free market will. And Mr. Alag is welcome to take me to any free market in India where the market is actually free. You are asking a 5 hectare, 2 hectare farmer to negotiate with Pepsi, and you're saying, you know what? These are equal people, they will behave equally with each other. In which Cinderella
No.
La La land do we live in?
What do you think? You have said that nothing short of a total repeal is what is required. But if there was a middle path, if we are discussing a middle path, do you think that putting that MSP, putting, well, if, one instance, putting MSP on paper, making it a part of the act rather than a verbal commitment by the Prime Minister, who you say in your own words you don't trust, there is a trust deficit. So, do you think putting that MSP as part of the law, do you think that is going to make a difference among other things that you can do?
Yes, putting MSP in that law would make a difference, but that law will collapse if MSP is put in that law. The design of the law does not allow MSP to come in. So let's not get into that. But there is a solution. Of course, there is a solution. The problem, let's look at it, very simply and methodically. India needs farm production. The producer must be sufficiently remunerated so that he's interested in continuing production. So the problem is the producer's remuneration for the production. Farming is not optional. It's something that concerns food security. So the government takes an important role and plays the role of a referee, moderator, because a government cannot let the nation go hungry. So it's that important an issue. So what does the government do? And this government has gone on record many times with many schemes saying that we need to make sure that farmers have stable livelihoods.
Right.
This law, the government says, is part of that process. But this law, according to farmers, does not help that. So what the farmers want and this is a misconception which I want to dispel through your show. The farmers do not want the government to purchase all their crop at MSP. That's not the demand. The demand is the government plays moderator, referee, big brother, and moderates the market. The government, by these laws, is refusing to do so. Hence, the farmers fear that whatever modicum of support they have, whatever the government does for them, they will stop doing. And now they will be at the mercy of big players. And big players do good, do bad. Mr. Alag may have a view, I may have a view. But finally, because it concerns food production and food producers, the farmers say government cannot escape, government cannot resign from its obligations of farming and farmers and must therefore make a law. That law was put in parliament. The government needs to, one, announce MSPs that are truly remunerative. The government doesn't do it now. Number two, the government has to be an intervener in the market to ensure. Why does the Punjab market, even in Punjab, the government does not buy all the wheat? But no farmer in Punjab gets below MSP because the government is such a big player in the market. So the government has announced schemes for stabilization funds, for intervention funds. All these have come out from this government. So these are tools that the government has to use to ensure that the farmers get MSP and the government has to announce good MSP. These are the two core primary issues. If this is sorted, everything is sorted. We don't need these laws. Hence, we are asking for repeal. It's not that we don't like the paper it's printed on. It's a very simple demand. A farmer is saying, please give me a good income, respectable income. Let my son say, let my daughter say, we want to become farmers too. Mr. Alag knows that no farmers' children want to become farmers. There must be a reason for it. Mr. Alag knows that excepting farmers, no other profession is committing suicide in the numbers that we are hearing from farmers, 15, 20,000. And our debates are, oh, is it going down or is it going up? The question should be, why should even one farmer want to commit suicide doing what he's doing? Doctors don't want to do it. Economists don't want to do it. Lawyers don't want to do it. So why farmers? So these core issues the government should have been concerned with. Unfortunately, it's not. It's leasing out its obligations to big corporations and believes that the nation will believe that this is equal to freedom to farmers.
When the 1991 reforms happened, there were protests from some quarters. Obviously, the economy was in a dire state, so protests or no protests, we did go away with we did go ahead with the 1991 reforms. There was lots of fears that the multinationals would come in and eat up Indian businesses, and Indian
Yeah.
businesses will not remain competitive. But they did stay competitive, and they did sort of become better and become sort of world players. Many of them went on to become world players and sort of give the tough competition to these MNCs. But do you think the time is not ripe for our agriculture sector to have that? And if these laws are not going to achieve that, why do you think that they are not going to achieve at least a modicum of modernity and a modicum of enterprise in the agriculture sector? Because and enterprise and modern technologies are really, or new technologies are really what's missing as far as Indian agriculture is concerned. So I would like Mr. Saha to comment, answer my question, give us his perspective, and then I will take remarks from you, Sunil.
The protesting farmers are largely from Punjab. Punjab is the hotbed of modern technology driven agriculture. So it is nothing to do with technology.
Right, but
This,
there are farmers in the rest of the country also. There are not
Yeah,
just
correct.
farmers in Punjab. The
Punjab.
farmers of Punjab and Haryana maybe MSP might be affecting them, but what about the farmers in the rest of the country? I mean, they are not as affected by MSP because some of them don't even know what an MSP is because it doesn't touch their crop. So
but
my question
this,
to you, yeah, if you
my,
can talk about farmers as a whole and not this particular section which is protesting. I get
this
what you're saying.
no,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying this supports my argument. Those who are technologically advanced in modern agriculture are protesting against these laws. So imagine those who are left behind, Miles, what their situation will be. Nobody is saying there should not be modernity in agriculture. But where will that modernity come, and why will that come? Only if it's productive. Why is there no investment in jute today? Jute industry is not finding investment because it's simply not possible to invest in jute. If you look at farming as a sector, it is so risky, it is it's so cost, it's a disaster for farmers. It's a constant nightmare for a farmer. Who will go and make investment in modern things? So the investment must come from large corporations. Large corporations with funds will come and invest. When they invest, they will want security and surety of their investment. Have you met an investor who doesn't want his investment to be secure? And the government and the law says that these securities will not be available, but investors, out of their goodwill, out of their good nature, will come and make these investments. And that's why modernity will come to agriculture and Indian agriculture will flourish. Modernity will come to Indian agriculture only if the farmer gets sufficient income. The farmer has fed this nation and will continue to do so, provided you condescend to give him a decent living wage. Do that, find the solution to that, and you have the solution to the whole problem.